Hey guys, and welcome to a Stalker of the week, which is the Ace of Wands. Long story short, Stalker of the week is a collective reading I do on an energy that kept showing up, and I pulled it out, and we go through it more in depth here to see what messages does this energy come with, and this is based upon the all signs quick love readings I just did. And I'm still calling it the Stalker of the week, although it comes when I have time for it. All right, but yeah, that's it. So we're gonna use the tarot, and we got clarification as well, and we have some oracles just to dive into it. Take what you want from this and what you need from it, and then leave behind the rest. And please like the video if you like the content. I would appreciate your support. And as I said, long time no see. Let's dive into it. Ace of Wands has shown up a lot for the clarifications of the love energies for almost all the signs there. And I really want to see what it's about. And it was showing up in this deck, which is the Lion Strider deck. And it's a beautiful one. You see this fox here. The fox tends to be a representation of survival as well, right? It is the Ace of Wands. It tends to be the denotion here of something that almost feels destined, or something that almost feels as though you are on the right path. It's being pushed or not pushed, or you find yourself in something that feels right. But with the fox here, it has to do with work, right? It means working for survival and all of that. And by that I mean bringing money to the table so you can pay your rent and food and all of that. But it is also something that's, it feels aligned with you. That's what the fox is, what I'm getting here, right? I love fox. The foxes here. I love the foxes. The animals, they are so sweet and adorable. Anyway, let's get back on track here. That's the Ace of Wands. What are we gonna do? We're gonna start by pulling a soul journey here. Let's see. Give me something overall for this fox. No, yes, for the fox, for the Ace of Wands here. Something overall. What are we dealing with here for people? Success, why is it in the reverse? Success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Comes with the phrase success. You know what, guys, I'm gonna have to get the book up on that, because that's these two words together. I'm slightly confused. Let's get the success. That's what it's like when you're dealing with the oracles. Let's see what we have for success. Why is it not showing up in the same? Service, success, self-esteem, sex. Success, SSSS. Success. I know success can mean many things to the ego self, but the soul only knows one triumph, and that is to love. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love, and just to love and be loved in return. When your soul is no longer manifested in the physical dimension, it's a time of reflection of how successful it was with that endeavor. The soul does not care how big your house was, or how nice your car was, or how many bank accounts you had. The soul only cares about how you expressed love and compassion. In the infinite wisdom of the universe, the more love you demonstrate, the more you will receive. And even your ego's definition of success is altered. Your notion of how you would be perceived as successful will change. The material things you thought would make you happy will not have the same appeal. So now it actually makes sense. Success, I know that there is no greater goal than to love. It is the definition of success to you. As I was on here about this fox earning the money to pay the bills and having a rent, right? Well, I want to go back here again to saying, what is the definition of success to you? Is that being able to have a roof over your head, or having a massive roof over your head? Have you noted that song? Is it LLJ? Something about saying, it's a song, it's a rapper basically. He raps about having reached the top or something like. He has enough, but then suddenly he stops and he thinks back to a better me, back when he was not that celebrity, about how, when he still had his ideals and something to fight for almost. Sorry, it's just being thrown back in here because I actually struck upon this energy a few days ago with something work related, but when I was kind of diving into that of remember yourself before you had success, before you were where you are today, when you almost had nothing, like when you were a student or something like that, when it was something more idealistic. There was no, you were still passionate about something. I don't know, I was thinking about also, like, was it P. Diddy? I was getting into a song he wrote about something when he was remembering a friend, and how they used to be in their youth, basically, when they were still, I know yeah, you align to that energy as you will, but it is more about that when before you had all these riches around you, right? Before you were successful, basically. Because there comes a point in some people's life here, I would say a lot, when you then start having success, and then it becomes about the materialistic, right? Maybe that is the message we will see. It's a lot of 5 minutes in and already getting a lot. But that's how these readings go. The Ace of Wands is feeling destined into something that can bring you success. But probably, I think the message here is about, although it will bring you some success, maybe even material success, remembering the values of that's how the values that is required for you to define success. How do you define success? Right? Is it like that song? I can't remember the name. I'm sorry, but it is. It was about, waking up in a big house, having everything, a bitch at his side, sucking his toes if that was what he needed. But then, no one was ever going to love him better than the one who called him out, or something like that. It's about not losing oneself when you are on the path towards success, probably. And service, I feel good when I can help others. It's also not becoming a prick, probably. But let's see. What do we have here? Just a little bit, sorry, from my side here, a little bit nostalgia, remembering back to when, late teens, early 20s, when you were just getting started, right? Anyway, let's see. You had everything. And it was also when, in my case, where you didn't have all the responsibilities you had. Unless you had children. Well, let's see. What else? No, that's coming up. That's what's... No, yeah, let's see. A win-win outcome is forecast. And a personal issue reaches resolution. That means that, you're going to have success. You're going to be... This Ace of Wands is being placed somehow, somewhere, on a track that feels destined. It's the small step. It's like the aha moment, right? The enlightenment. As Ace of Wands is also about the enlightenment, so to say, because it's the awareness. Where the Ace of Swords is about speaking the truth. It's about the clarity. The Ace of Wands is more about the awareness of feeling aligned. Let's dive more into it here. No, I kind of want to see. Let's pull another one. Just one more. Let's see. What do we have from this one? That's the overall energy here for the Ace of Wands. There we have, it's not for you. And to be fair, I'm also getting here an energy of saying success comes in many forms. There are probably some games, some levels, whatever it is that you're throwing yourself into, where you should not go. That this is not for you. It's about knowing how to stay within your line. A win-win outcome is forecast. If you can find the balance between when you are supposed to engage in something and when you should know the boundary of saying this is not where you're supposed to be, right, at that time. You feel service, be good when you can help other people. I'm gonna look that up here a minute. When you can help other people, but also, not to the degree where you all become a bloody, you're not an emotional trash can for other people, and you're not put in this world to be so much of service that you forget yourself. You always remember that, right? It's like, I can be of service to other people, yes, but not to the degree that you allow other people to walk all over you. Not for you. It's a clear saying that something here is being denied you. Rejection is God's protection. There are times when it appears as that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, you sought your seek, it either seems to elude you, right? Or you don't really seem to get in the game and all that. This indicates you are not going to attain what you want right now. That indeed your dreams for exact thing will not fulfilled. Some relationships carry an innate seed of failure. Some relationships carry an innate seed of failure in them. It's obvious from the beginning, but the red flags escape your observation, or you refuse to acknowledge them. When a relationship is not meant to be, it's not possible to make it to be. Rejection is a sign that you're being protected by the divine, and you can strategize and protect and systemize and invest all your energy and time and energy, but sometimes the best laid plans seem to go awry in spite of it all. Do not chase from what it flees you, right? Do not obsess about what eludes you. Don't bang your head against the wall. There's nothing romantic about what is unavailable. No price is being given from torturing yourself, and nothing is to be gained from refusing to see the red flags that have been waving since you began your pursuit. Now is the time to walk away. There are other goals, other lovers, other games, other successes waiting for you. So a win-win outcome is going for you to this what I was going through about being a right track, feeling an awareness and being aligned and all that. It comes from also recognizing what is not on the path, right? It is this is why we have these boundaries. It's about being clear and best degree that we can of recognizing when is something going to bring us success and when is something meant to fail, or like as it said here, there's no prize from it was very intelligent. There's nothing to gain, there's nothing romantic about chasing what eludes you, right? You're basically setting yourself up for failure. That's not success there, and you will also lose passion for it. So a win-win outcome is forecast when it is that you have a clear understanding about where can you have success and when is something eluding you, and why chase that. Why continue to go if it's continuous? So that's the boundary. Knowing the boundary, knowing the line, basically, when to draw the line in the sand. So let's see here. What is in the past? Let's see what leads up to this. That's just the overall energy, right? With the Ace of Wands. What is in the past here? There we have the Empress. The Empress is in the past. That is a lot of self-growth. That is, do you see this tiger that comes with the Empress? That tiger is the Empress's boundary. The Emperor is very floaty, she's very creative and all of that. But that, because she is that, she needs strong boundaries. Now, normally we say the Empress is a representation of the feminine energy, and the Emperor being a representative of the masculine energy that we have within us, with the Empress being that which is about breaking out of boundaries. That's why she can deal with towers, because towers is about breaking down boundaries. When a tower hits the Empress energy, it's not as significant because she doesn't really have the boundaries, whereas it strikes for the masculine, the people who are in the masculine energy, is terrifying, because that means that the boundaries disappear, and it's all about the boundaries there, right? Long story short, just to say, in this cards here, it's actually depicted as though, like I always say, that the Empress and the Emperor is always connected. We always have the masculine and feminine within us. Normally we tend to see it in the cards as though it's separate, masculine and feminine, separate cards. This tiger is actually almost like the Emperor being represented in this card, because this shows that the Empress is always connected with the masculine. This tiger is the boundaries that protects her from floating everywhere. Where the monkey, you can see, is that creativity that comes when you break away from boundaries, thinking outside the box. I know it sounds abstract, I know, but the key to it all is about that in the past here we do have an energy that's very, very loving, very, very nurturing, very much about seeing the potential, right? Probably potential within yourself, maybe even someone seeing potential in you. But it is from here that you find sort of the that of feeling comfortable with being in the unknown, and that is where you find the enlightenment, the awareness, because it doesn't just, well, it actually it comes from navigating in the dark. It's like you're in the darkness, and then suddenly a torch is lit up. Being the Ace of Wands, the torch is lit up, and then suddenly you go from not really knowing where it is supposed to go to feeling as though you're being shown the way. That is what I'm getting from this. But let's see if I can get more specific. It's like I'm getting this metaphorical journey, right? What else can you tell me about the Empress and the past? Two of Cups and the Three of Swords, right? So it's probably a breakup, right? And the Page of Swords. So this is the typical one of having your heart broken. A relationship that came to an end. That hurts. The Empress experiences that a lot. It hurts. Right? How is that affecting you in the... Oh, for fuck's sake. In the present situation, there we have the Lovers, right? So now it is feeling as though it's a strong soul tie here, right? But as I said before, right, it makes sense because it comes from the love readings, right? As I said before, know when something is not for you. When it eludes you, you're not going to win a medal. There's no Olympic medal for, yes, I broke down myself in chasing this idiot, right? No. So this, even though you may feel a strong bond, remember these strong bonds are sometimes here to teach us lessons. We say it all the time. I mean, we talk lessons all the time. We can tell ourselves what we need to. Sorry, but yes, it's here to tell you something about yourself. For you to recognize that a win-win, for there to be a win-win, for an outcome here, right? It's knowing when there is going to be success and when there's not going to be success. Although it hurts, although you may feel as though this is your divine counterpart, right? And therefore you will probably want to continue, especially if this is like for those of you who have gone through a breakup here, you will would like to just continue to see what this person is up to, but don't breadcrumb yourself. That's gaslighting yourself, and it's very human. But just be mindful of it, right? Be mindful of it. You want to know if you can, maybe down the line there's a chance that they will change their mind, and in time and things will grow and they will suddenly realize, and all of those stories you can tell yourself. Anyway, let's clarify that. Let's see more of this situation here. That's I would like to say that this is the past energy. And then what we have in the present situation is, I mean, let's see. We have 8 of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the Judgment. We do have, I've got to say, a situation. There's something about walking away from something that's not for you. It's a difficult choice, especially if you feel some sort of a bond here. But there's something you're probably being asked here to disconnect from, and that's that. Maybe it's the hope of a reconciliation. Maybe it's being judged. Maybe it's being judged by siblings. You take it as it resonates here, right? Being judged by family members. I'm actually kind of curious how that ties up to that. It ties up with the fact that you have something here that you gotta balance out, and it's kind of like, for you to get what it is that you know will make you happy, for you to walk towards your happiness, it comes with a certain headache and a lot of things that you gotta balance out, right? There may even be a person here in your life, probably some mother figure, or a woman that's older than you, could be, where you fought. That maybe there was something, but maybe disappointing. I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see what's your role in it. What is your role in this? Page of Pentacles. You got something brand new here. Sometimes you get stuck. Look out for how people... let's see. No, hold on. What can you control? What can't you control? What can you control? Yes, what can't you control? You cannot control how other people will decide to play with you for their own benefit. If that's the case, I know it sounds rough, but you can also not... yeah, you know, I need to clarify, sorry. I think it's the same message I get every time. You cannot control other people. It's simple as that. See what's your role in it. You can only control what is given to you. What is that quote? My friend spoke it out loud the other day. Something, the strength to recognize what I can change and cannot change, and the something to know the difference. I can't remember it. The keynote of it is that know what you can change, and it starts from within yourself, and find peace in knowing. You find peace when you learn to recognize what you cannot change, because you don't have that power. So why stress out about it? And not to take on the burdens of the entire world, right? Show up the way that you can show up and make the changes that you can, starting from you. And do not take on the burdens of other people. If there's nothing you truly can do, it's up for them. What is your role in this here? You are a slow moving, very methodical, and you are the one with this new beginning, and it's right for you, and it's aligned for you, and it's new, and you have a long way to go, and that's that. And you gotta be patient here. Be patient with yourself and all of that. What you can control is the light that you have in that torch that you are carrying. It's your light. Yes, it is your light, and you can also control how you. Whoa, king and queen, king of wands, and the two of. Oh shit, and the king. Yes, right. So you just focus on you, and good things will happen there, right? What you can. Shit. What you can. Guys, all right. I'm not gonna deny it. There may actually be. This is this new thing here, right? This is this new thing that's coming, and it could actually, especially for those of you who are single. And this is you're looking for this for love, or maybe even if you want a complicated connection here, and you're looking for it, and in that case it's about get rid of that complicated, because this is something amazing coming. I mean, it's strong, but in order for this to work, you will need to know the boundaries, your boundaries, their boundaries, right? Especially because in that case we would be dealing with two freedom-loving people. Anyway, what you can control is your own fire. What you cannot control is people who are far more in their head about passion. The way that you feel this intuitive hinge, you feel this light. You may close your eyes and you see this light. This is where I'm going. Other people may not have that capacity, right? And that's it requires a person to be somewhat spiritual, and by spiritual I mean aligned with oneself and mature to have the boldness to dare to go follow that light that is within you. You see it in, I'll say, creative people a lot, right? Because, or not just that, just people who are innovators, proper innovators. We all innovate, forget it, right? But you know, to just to dare to go where no one has gone before, right? It's actually very, very scary. And even to dare to go when only a few people have gone before is very scary. It's always easier to go when all the crowd has been there, right? Because then it's safe. To be pioneers is can be a little bit scary. But you can trust yourself in that. But you cannot then control how other people who may prefer to think their way into things as opposed to taking the action, right? Remember, we are different people. We go into the world in different ways. So that's that, right? And if you may, of course, if you are pioneering, you will probably sometimes be met with people saying, you can't do that. Of course, you will be met by that. But, you know, find the balance there. Anyway, what you can control is your own fire. What you can control is staying connected to your inner child, to that which grounds you, to that which brings you the fire. And that's that. Strong connection, they're probably coming. Also, what you can control is remembering to make proper plans, right? And to not let jealousy or anything. I'm not saying that I'm saying it there, but you just a little case there. Strong connection coming. Are you fucking crazy? All right, what can you not control? That one clarified by this one, and that one. No, that was. You cannot control, again, someone who prefers to be in their head. They like to think, where maybe you are someone who thinks things through 2 times, and they like to think it through 200 times, right? You can also not control the setting that you are in completely, meaning that you probably also, if you have to play by the rules and something. Anyway, yes, oh god damn it. If this is in a love connection, make sure that you just be mindful of how strong connections, very, very strong connection, will always have the tendency to trigger us, right? For good and for bad. Be mindful of that. No running away from that. Anyway, let's see. Let's close this off. What is then coming up towards you here? Now I will see advice and then what's coming up, and we will call that it for the Ace of Wands. It's actually, this is like a big indicator of strong connection coming, if it's not already here. But let's see what's the advice here. Well, the advice is let it go, and tender embrace. Let it go, and let's see what is coming up. Justice. You cannot. All right, let it go. I want to read the let it go. Let it go, let it go. It's almost December, guys. Anyway, 24. Welcome to the train of thought. Someone, apparently, my friend of mine, they have, some of them, they have an entire concept called a particular train of thought. That is my train of thought, which means that we start here and then we end up in a completely different direction. It's a talent. Anyway, let it go. Forgiveness, healing, resentment, shedding the role of the eternal martyr, letting go of victimhood, cutting the ties that bind you to a destructive story, releasing pain so you can move into the lesson it offers, relinquishing the need to be right. There are times in life when you must forgive, lest you become a hostage to your anger, frustration, disappointment, and resentment. It's not about condoning bad behavior or minimizing a hurt that has been done to you. Forgiveness is simply a commitment to stop telling an old story so you don't carry its burden anymore. If you don't forgive, old hurts fester and become distorted, causing you pain over and over again. You become trapped in a prison of your own making, tied to the story that you were a victim. It's time to cut the invisible cord attaching you to the situation and preventing you from moving forward. The truth is, you are victimizing yourself every time you recreate the unresolved hurt in your mind, or speak of it with friends. Yeah, we're all guilty of that, right? Rather than allow this folly to repeat, surrender the situation to your higher power. Your spiritual, that's the spiritual, forgive it, letting it up. Anyway, to surrender the situation to your higher power is never about saying, I let go of all relinquished control. It's just a thing that I was said before here. Know what you can and cannot. Release the need to try and control what you cannot control, because do what you can do with the time and the resources that are given to you. Watch the Lord of the Rings, the first movie. Gandalf has something he says when they are sitting in the cave, and Frodo is going on something about Gollum, and then he says, but it's not he says some very intelligent things, and I have forgotten all about it. But it's basically about, who are you to judge Gollum's fate and all of that, and try to believe that you are. I think Frodo says something about someone should kill him, and he's like, who are you to judge about that? What makes you the judge of what other people, who should live and who should die? And anyway, again, the entire point, the morale of the story is know what you can and cannot control, and focus on making life better for you and the people near to you, and treat other people the way you want to be treated and all that. Anyway, now is the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms and forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. Consider the ancient Hawaiian practice known as Ho'oponopono. Something. This simple prayer is a beautiful way to begin the process of forgiveness. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's more complicated than that, but you can Google it. It is based on the idea that we are all responsible for the reality we see in the world. If something is awry, whether it's your perception, your emotional reaction, your judgment, and so forth, it's up for you to clean it up. Forgiveness is the key to a liberating and meaningful life. No matter what method you choose, just do it. Just do it. Easier said than done. You're responsible for the happiness in your own life, basically. And let it go is about whatever resentment you have. Do the best you can to let it go, because otherwise it will eat you up from the inside, and you know that. what you cannot control, for instance, like what other people, if someone got into you and got you may feel as though they got you awry. What was your role in it? And that's why I'm also saying here, what you try to be mindful here of other people, if they are trying to deal with their own issues by trying to make you do something that isn't awry from your path. In the end, it's up for you to, along the way in life, to learn how to recognize it and learn not to respond to it, right? That's why we learn emotional balance and regulation and all that, to recognize what's going on in my world around me, what's going on inside of me, how are we dancing together in this tango, and how am I being triggered. And know that we are not perfect. And what's coming up here for you is the justice, which is basically a decision that's going to be made, or you will be faced with a choice, and that choice is going to have an effect on your life. What matters here is then that truth is being told. That truth is done. Honestly, holy shit, we have Empress, Lover, Justice, and the Sun, and only course then an Ace. This is, that journey, if we can say like that, is just basically meaning it's something that's very strong. Probably get that some out here, they are about to learn to let go of something that they may have felt that was going to be with them for a very long time, but it's being let go of to make room for something better. My light went out almost. And it comes with the Emperor, and it comes with the Five of Swords, and it comes with the King of Pentacles, and we are done. Because there's the Emperor, Justice, Lovers, all of that. All we need is the Temperance, but we also have the conflict. Why are you going to be the Seven of Swords and the Devil and the Moon? Do I even want to continue down this? Do I want to see your role in this? You know what, guys? I bloody hell hope that you're not going to be thrown into something drama involuntarily. Look out for how your actions may, by the way, also affect other people. I will say that. Look out for how your actions may affect other people, so that you don't do something that you're going to regret. Okay? Okay. So that is, I think, that is, just quickly, what is it that needs to be let go? The need to wanting to control everything. Alright. What you can control is also how you allow other people into your life. That some of you may actually be very, very guarded. I don't know if it's because there's something else there. So, yeah, you know what? Last message. Trust your intuition. So many major arcanas. This is a major life event. Right? It has something to do with the strength that you have within yourself. Yes, it is a relationship. It is the divine relationship and all of that. If you... Okay, I cannot get out of it. Yes, there is something that's very fated. It is very fated, and yes, it could actually be a relationship, but it comes from another relationship. So what is it that we say? That we always have the relationship that make you because it breaks you, and then comes the proper one, right? Normally it's placed in teenagehood, but the relationship that is meant for you comes when the time is right for you to find it, whether in your 30s, your 60s, whatever. So that is what I have here for you. And yes, relationship could be in romantic love, could be in whatever you take. As I said, will resonate with you. I am gonna go to the gym. Take care. Ciao.